My name is Engineer Pascal. I'm not a Chinaso. From a family of 6, 5 boys and a girl, the first child born. I'm also married to my beautiful wife, the 2 boys. I'm a civil engineer by training. I started primary school from Central School in Owamakohia, Ikedru in Imo State. Finished my secondary school in Orego High School in Ikeja, Lagos State, upon which I proceeded into the university, Federal University of Agriculture, Makurdi, Benue State. After which, I came down to work in River State, Port Harcourt, to be precise. Talking about work background, after time of service, I briefly joined Grand Tech. That was in 2002, and I worked with them for basically 4 years. After which I joined Habicon Services. Habicon Services was a sister company of Grand Tech. Grand Tech is into oil servicing and a bit of bridge construction and pavements. There I worked with them a while for that 4 years before I joined Habicon Services in 2006. I worked with Habicon Services. They were into building, purely constructions. Then I worked there for 2 years. In 2008, I finally joined Details to Dot, and I worked with Details to Dot up until 2019, where I now met my mentor, architect Akwa Adepoyi, who basically has baked me into the engineer I've become today. But he is an architect, and me as an engineer, I learned a lot working with him. Having learned a lot, being mentored, came at a time that it became very important in my being to take the bold step in my life, that it began to burn in me to create something. And as it was burning in me, it also gave me an inspiration on how to formulate a name that would also match with my desire to take that step, and I finally did in 2019. We now decided to form a company called Reality Dreams. I happen to be a bit lucky because I have brothers who, by God's divine ways of doing things, He kind of gave us separate ideas, separate ways of doing things that comes together like a broom, and is very strong because we're able to use family members to manage the firm. Unlike what people say outside, we don't do business with relations. We are able to manage our firm jointly together with people like my immediate younger brother managing a site, even though he doubles like the HR, he does the site manager in Abuja. The next one is in one of our sites in Port Harcourt, and we have our GM in the office who manages the firm even when I'm not around. But that doesn't mean we don't have challenges and difficulties. We do. But by the grace of God, we are facing them headlong, and we're surmounting them and moving forward. However, my advice to any upcoming person who wants to establish a firm is be prepared to know that human beings were different. I must devise a means on how to manage people different. There are always challenges in every walk of life. In my first project as a new company, build trust with suppliers, a workforce, a good client. It's not easy to give people money to supply you things and they get you the adequate materials, both quantity and quality. But coming from the kind of person I have been, working from where I left before I started Reality Dream, I have already earned that trust from a lot of people. So it made it a lot easy because a lot of people that I knew working where I worked before, I was able to benefit from the kind of person I have been over the years. But to raise a workforce, I also enjoy from artisans and workforce from my former place and people I met outside my former company. So it made it a lot easy to raise workforce. Then I was also lucky that the kind of client I had as a first client, wasn't the type that was troublesome. He was a nice person, or he's still a nice person. He just pays you and you deliver what you agree. You just make sure that you don't go cutting standard, because he will not accept that, and that we didn't do. And that made it a lot easy for me. So I really didn't face terrible challenges in my first project. We've done more than 5 years already, and we're going into another 5 years. And we're also working on ways to have our clients view their sites from anywhere in the world. That way you can cut the cost of logistics and stuff like that. And we can, manage the sites from your office. You can talk to people from your office at site, what they call cloud computing and stuff like that. There's a lot we're looking at to achieve different ways of doing work, like plastering, doing things in a different way, trying to improve on the quality of what we do. We hope that in the next year to come, things will look much better than we are doing now.